In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Rainbow Loom solid flower fun charm. Now, I created this charm back in October and I made a video for it, but since then I've had a lot of people comment that either their charm has fallen apart or it comes out looking like a big ball of bands. And I've also had a lot of people ask if I could show a way to make it on a Cra-Z-Loom or another brand of loom in which the pins do not move, so you're not able to set it up in a square pattern. So I'm going to show you how to create the charm using your loom set up in this pattern. You want to have the arrows facing towards you, and you want to have the pins so they're not in line with one another and they have this V shape at the end. And you need to choose your colors. I've chosen blue for my flower and yellow for the center. And you're going to need 6 bands of one color for the one layer of the flower, and then 3 of the center color, and then 6 additional bands of that same color that you want for your flower. So I'm going to be starting with the color of my flower, which I have blue. I'm going to this third pin in from the left side of the loom, and I'm going to place the band up and to the right diagonally and twist. And now from here I'm going to go up diagonally to the right again, and also I'm going to twist. You always need to twist this bottom layer so that your flower doesn't fall apart. And now from this top row I'm going to come down diagonally and to the right and twist. Push it down. You always want to push down every band that you put on. And now again I'm going down diagonally to the right and twisting. And now I'm just going to work my way back down to the left along this bottom row. Again, I'm twisting. And then finally from here back to the start and twist and push this down. So that is what the bottom layer will look like, and you can see it's in that triangular shape. And now I'm going to put the next layer on, which is the center. So again, I'm going to start on this third pin up from the left side of the loom, and this band is going to go diagonally across to the right to the pin that's right across from it, and there's no need to twist. And then I'm going to go up to this next pin. Again, this band is going to stretch diagonally to the pin to the right. Again, I don't need to twist anymore, so it's going to come diagonally right across from it. And then finally, this last band is going to go from this top pin and straight down. So that's what the center layer will look like. And now I want to remove the bottom layer of bands. And each of the pins has 2 bands on it, so I'm going to be removing 2 bands from each of the pins. So I'm going to reach my hook inside this open area of the pin. I'm going to take off the bottom band, and then I'm going to take off a second band. So now I only have yellow left on the pin and all the blue are removed. So I'm just going to work my way around the triangle doing that. So there's going to be 2 bands removed from every pin. I'm going to go up to the top. Again, I'm removing the bottom 2 bands. And now this pin here is going to be the hardest to get to because you can't reach down inside the open area like we do for all the other ones. You have to reach to the outside, and you just want to take your hook and push back on these bands and grab that bottom band and pull it over the top, and then again push back, grab the bottom and pull it over the top. And now on to the next one. We're going to be removing the bottom 2 again. And then we have one more. And then we're back to the start. So you want to push all of this down. And then we're going to add our final layer of bands, we're going to be starting on this bottom pin again and working our way around the triangle. So again, I don't have to twist anymore, so I'm just going to work my way up. And then I'm going to work my way back down. And then finally, I'm going to come back down to the left till I get to the start. And now once I've done that, I want to again remove that bottom layer. And this time I have the yellow to remove, and it's only going to be one single band from each of the pins. So I'm just grabbing that and pulling it over the top. I'm just going to do that for all of the pins and just work my way around. And then again with this pin, it's going to be hard to grab that yellow band. You can't just go down from the center, you have to do it from the outside. So take your hook, the back of your hook, and push back on these bands. Then you can see that yellow band. Grab it on your hook and pull it over the top to the inside. And now again, I'm just going to keep going around. And now I'm back to the start again. And I'm going to push this down as well. And now here is where it's going to differ from the first video that I made. I'm going to show you how to take it off the loom in a different way that hopefully will work out a lot better. So what you're going to do is start at this bottom pin on the left. There's going to be 2 blue bands on all of the pins. So what you want to do is take your hook and grab both of these blue bands, and you're going to move them to this pin above, and you have to get them both on the top of that pin. You got to make sure they both get on. And so now, let's see if you can see, there's 4 bands on here. But now what I want to do is I'm going to reach down inside, and I'm going to use my hook to push back on these 2 upper bands. And I want to grab the 2 lower bands, and I'm going to pull them up through the top and move them to the pin above. And I'm just going to keep repeating that same pattern while I work my way around the triangle. So again, I'm going to reach down through this center, take my hook and push back on these top 2 bands, get them out of the way, and then grab the bottom 2 bands, get them on my hook, release them from that pin, and just move them to the next pin. And then once again, I'm reaching down through the center. And this is going to be the hardest one to grab. You want to pull back on all of these bands at the top. You just want to grab those bottom 2 blue bands and pull them over the top and down to the next pin. And now again, we're going to be reaching down through, pushing back on these top bands, grab the bottom 2, pull that through the center, and just move them down to the next pin below. And now there's going to be 4 bands, and this is our last pin. So again, I'm going to reach down through the top, push back on those top 2 bands, grab the bottom 2, and pull them out. Now I'm going to leave these last 2 bands on my hook because this is the loose end, so you don't want to lose those or it will come apart. And now I can take all of these other bands off of the pins. Just going to release them. And then this is what it's going to look like when it comes off of your loom. If you turn it over, that is where the flower part will be. So what you need to do is just spread all of this out. And you can play with it to make it look as neat as you can. Move the petals around. And then that is your flower charm. Now the last thing that you need to do is take a clip. I have an S-clip here. And I'm just going to take the one side of the clip and take these two loose bands and hook them through, and that way it won't fall apart. So hopefully you found this new way of taking the flower off of the loom easier than the last one, and that your flowers turn out looking great. You can always leave me comments on YouTube or go to my Facebook page and leave me comments, and I'd love to see pictures of how your flowers turned out.